So at this time, T is no longer with us.
Correct.
Well, he's here right now, but we know of his impending doom. He has to get a small surgery. It's mainly a cosmetic thing to, help you in the future. It doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah. But he is going to be gone for a couple of weeks. So I do hope that we can get him in 1 or 2 videos here in the meantime.
Nice of you to say.
This is one of them, where we're talking about the 5 things that we do not want to see in Hogwarts Legacy. We gotta enunciate the warts. And now here's the thing. We don't want warts in this game. Now, we are pushing hard to hit 7,500 subscribers on the Let's Play channel before the end of the year. Maybe we already hit that, I don't know, but I was actually thinking I'm going to move the goal to trying to hit 8,500 before the end of the year.
You need to relax. Dude.
So, if you have not checked out that channel, T and I are over there. I'm over there with Nate as well, and a lot of my friends. We play games, we hang out podcast style, we just have a good time. You got any more pitches for that?
No, I mean, it sounds really cool. It's a good time. We hang out, we play some substandard games like Avengers and other fun games like Arkham. So
Bravo 6, put the guns down, he has complied.
Thank you
so much. Hey, we hope you will check that out. The link is in the description down below to Degenerate Plays. We'll see you over there. Now, starting at the list at number 5. Number 5! This was my pick. I do think I need to enunciate and emphasize this because you're more of the Harry Potter fan than I am.
Sure.
I'm sort of an outsider but casual fan. I like it. You are a diehard. So, if anyone has to fall on the sword of the Rowling house, it's going to be me. Because I'm going to say, please do not rely at all on J.K. Rowling. Now, there's 1,000 Potterheads typing in the chat. Well, they said they're not going to. They said that, yes, I know that. But guess what? I can very easily say that T is going to be gone from the channel. And you don't know this. I mean, he is going to be gone. But let's say he just edited all the videos, right? There's ways that you can consult or work on anything without other people seeing it. And she is already a light consultant. So who's to say that she's not a heavy consultant on some portion of the game or world? And my thing is, she has been so flip-floppy and weird the last 5 or 10 years on things she's worked on that have varied in quality to the point where they needed to bring back the original movie runner for Harry Potter to save and pull her out of the fire with Fantastic Beasts. And it's a problem. I'm just saying, don't rely on her.
Yeah, no, I think it's a reasonable take. And like you said, they've come out and said, hey, listen, especially after a whole, the transphobic thing that was going on for a while.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah, real mess. Between that going on, they said, hey, listen, we're distancing, we're not really working with Rowling. But with that in mind, I get your point. And I think with her track record recently, given she's got a 7-book series and the movies were awesome originally in the Harry Potter universe, but then you get to The Cursed Child, which was kind of mixed reviews there, and then the Fantastic Beasts series, which was pretty good with 1. 2, I thought was a train wreck, and I think a lot of other Potterheads, if you will, thought the same. So she's got kind of a track record as of late of really just not working well with the source material, messing with the timeline, doing some weird things, which is something we'll talk about later too. But she's not someone I think that should be in this game. But obviously we're using her material, but do your own thing. Make it your own your own style, and hopefully stick to your word and not rely on her to kind of get you through this.
Number 4! So with the next one, we actually have don't copy the mechanics of other games in the Harry Potter franchise. And now, obviously, Hogwarts Legacy is going to really stand on its own. They're not going to be like, hey, remember the Gears of War clone, Deathly Hallows? They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But the thing is with this, I think most of the Harry Potter games are bad to serviceable at best. There's a few fun ones in there. I know a lot of people have fond memories of Sorcerer's Stone, especially because it came out, really early 2000s, sort of this time where we were all kids. And it was just amazing to be like, oh, this is almost a Majora's Mask style I'm in Hogwarts game. That's cool, right? But since then, a lot of them have been misses with very few hits in the middle. And I don't really think that you want to go back and rely on any of those games as a blueprint for anything, except maybe what not to do.
I do agree. I think when you look at the EA run of Harry Potter games, like some of the early ones where there were some fun moments, and honestly I enjoyed as much as you really can with these games, because there were definitely some issues with the voice acting and the combat at times. But with like Half-Blood Prince and Order of the Phoenix, I actually enjoyed those to some extent. But I think that's because I'm a diehard fan, and I think that's what a lot of, if you are just a casual person picking up those games, you probably don't like them. And that's maybe not the case for everyone, but I think it is. And then you get to Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think easily one of the worst games I've ever played. And like you said, it was a Gears of War clone. Avoiding that is critical, and it looks like they're definitely going to be, but please, I do not go near that.
It was so funny, it was one spell over and over again.
Awful.
That you just spam.
Abomination. But then if you get to like the Lego Harry Potter games,
yes.
Not saying you want to copy the Lego format by any means, but like they did some really good things with exploring the world and like the Easter eggs and stuff. So if they take some fun things, I can't speak, but
that's okay. I can't think.
That's cool. All right.
So
cool.
Together we make one full person.
But yeah, I think that if they're able to take maybe some small things from that, obviously it's a Lego game, completely different thing. But you're right, avoiding the Harry Potter Gears of War thing that they did in the latter installments of the gaming series that EA just seemed to kind of give up on. I think that'd be a really good
also
thing.
Dragging out weird portions of the story.
Yeah.
Like, fight your way past who were you even fighting in the Gears of War one? I'm trying to remember. Were you fighting like the Death Eaters?
Death Eaters, yeah, over and over again.
And you would fight your way past them to talk to Ron's dad or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just random stuff. Or like, hey, let's look around the town and go invisible in first person, but don't let any of the muggles see you. And stuff like that, but it wasn't really fun. I'm fine with going to muggle locations and stuff if you have a purpose to it, but don't just jam stuff in for the sake of jamming it in. I think to me that was the biggest offender with EA, and I don't own most of those games. I'd like to collect them, but wow, are they a mess.
They really were. Yeah, they really were.
Number 3. Do not mess up the timeline. Now, I'm going to point to T. Please do not get to our final point yet.
Yes, of course.
Because it would be very easy to put that in here. But I think you can explain this better because Crimes of Grindelwald was really kind of weird with the timeline, also weird with retconning. And can I just say that I would say don't mess up the timeline to me also is hand in hand with just changing the word timeline for continuity. Do not mess up the continuity or the canon. Do not come in and say, well, actually, Hermione was meant to be this person. Or, well, actually, I thought this about Dumbledore the whole time. It's just, like, write it the way that it naturally should be written. Do not, and that's maybe J.K. Rowling, but do not come in and change things and be like, no, you never understood it. I was right the whole time.
Right.
We don't want that out of this. That's actually just kind of kicking the fans. It would be like if Star Wars came in there like, actually, Anakin wasn't the chosen one at all, ever.
Yeah, how dare you, first of all.
Just randomly? It's like, what?
I know, no, and so the thing with this is it would be a little harder to mess it up, and I think that's why it would be so egregious.
It's so early.
It's in 1895, I believe, is the year. So you're gonna see some of the older characters potentially, like Bathilda Bagshot, and Dumbledore is still alive at this point. There are some older characters, but the thing is, and this kind of ties back to J.K. Rowling's involvement, is in the second installment of the Fantastic Beasts series, there are characters that are in that movie that either shouldn't be, their ages are wrong, they're just messing with
What about the snake woman? Is it Nagini?
Nagini, yes.
Nagini. Yeah, like that was weird.
They just changed that completely. So like that's I guess the only thing that I would be nervous about with that is if they bring characters in that should not be there, because that's what the Crimes of Grindelwald did, and that was so that's what ruined the movie for me. It was like, well,
you knew the books.
She's not alive then. What is she doing here?
And that's the issue, is that I think what you're getting at too is appealing to both the fans from the outside, like me, casual fans of Harry Potter. They're like, oh, it's neat, I like that, but I don't even know everything about it by a long shot.
Sure.
Or people like you who are diehards. You have to make both of those people happy. I think this should be a stepping stone to get into the franchise for a lot of people. Like the Arkham games were for Batman, like the Spider-Man games have been now for Spider-Man. This should be sort of a gateway into the Harry Potter universe. And I think that if you start messing stuff up, the fans are going to be so hard on it that then they're going to give, obviously, even the casual fans a bad impression of it. And then it's just going to trickle down and not be good.
It really is, and that's what I think, like, if you, with this game, if you have, like, a cool side mission with, like, a young Dumbledore that you see at some point, or you run into Bathilda Bagshot for, like, an Easter egg or something, I don't know, something cool like that, fine, where it's established and it makes sense and it's within the world, but please don't bring any characters. and don't bring any characters that shouldn't be alive into this timeline. I get it if you want fan recognition, like, oh, it's that character, but they're not there. So please, that's the only thing.
The only thing that I would like to see in the timeline is stuff that doesn't mess it up but adds to it.
Yeah,
so, like, for example, if you go to the library in Hogwarts, I mentioned this in things we want to see, I would love to see references to earlier Dark Lords, or maybe to the earlier war with the Muggles, anything like that maybe we don't see a lot of, I don't know, explanation for in the movies or books.
Yeah.
You just see some passing references to it to add to world building. Now, what I don't want is for them to take random crap like, how did Han Solo get the last name Solo? Oh, he's by himself. I don't need that, like just grasping at straws to explain things.
Right.
But if you have some deeper understanding to add to this version of the Harry Potter world, I'm totally down.
Yeah, or even like if you showed a young Dumbledore and it was, I guess I'm not 100% certain on this, but if like you had him with his family before everything happened that we read in, the Deathly Hallows, or even see in the movie, if you are able to kind of see a moment there where he's with his sister and his brother and his mom and dad before things really went bad, that'd be incredible, and it would add to the lore, because you're getting an experience that we never really got in the books.
But you're not messing anything up.
But you're not messing anything up. You're just kind of see like, oh, that's the Dumbledores, and that's something that if you go to Godric's Hollow and see that or something. I don't know. I guess I'm not 100% certain on the timeline there. But like I said, don't mess it up. But like you said, maybe add something to it, and that works really well.
Number 2. So, the second to the last one here is don't cave to casual fans' demands. And what I mean by that is, please do appeal to casual fans. Please do try to bring people into this franchise. Please do make this accessible, but don't make it like baby food for fans of the franchise. Don't do... If fans are demanding, don't put this in here, this is problematic, or don't put this in here, I don't like it, please don't cave to the people who are not really fans of your work. I see this over and over again, where you'll see 15 people on Twitter mad about something, and I'm not even getting into details here, but you'll see 15 people on Twitter mad about an element of a story or a game. It's like, oh, you're right, we got to take that out. Do not do that. Those are not your hardcore fans. Please remember who this game is, targeting. Try to appeal to both sides, and don't just appeal to... I don't even know how to say it. Can you explain this even better than I can, maybe?
Well, yeah, I think I know what you mean. So, like, it's with this, I think it's so easy to try to bring in more people. And I think people need to understand, or at least, and I think they do understand, the people that are developing this game, that Harry Potter fans, there is a ridiculous amount of them. And you want to... And they're very passionate still. And that's the thing, is that you have a very passionate fan base that is still begging for content. Like, to this day, you want to see new things. And there used to be a thing, I guess, before, once again, the J.K. Rowling stuff really went off worse again, was that she would occasionally drop stuff on Twitter where it was like, there's, on this day, something really cool happened in the world that you didn't know about before. And it was like, oh, new information, this is great. And so I guess what I'm getting at is there are very passionate fans for this base. And as you want to bring in new people and you want to appease the casual fans as well, your main focus really should be on the hardcores.
Yes.
And for people that live and breathe this content, and still making it digestible for casual fans.
Yeah, and a gateway, like I said.
Exactly.
But you don't want to ignore the hardcore fans just to bring in new ones.
No.
So you don't want to take out elements of the story if they won't appeal to them, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yes.
So I don't want them doing that.
So don't simplify the lore for the casual fans.
Number one.
It's number one.
At number one, we came up with this together, but it's my channel, so I claim responsibility.
Yeah, dude.
No third or first official Dark Lord of the franchise. And what I mean by that is, obviously, you pointed out there are magic abusers and like Dark Lordish people way earlier in the timeline, before Voldemort, even before Grindelwald in a way. But we don't want some big Dark Lord to be the big bad guy, where it's like, well, actually, this guy was before Grindelwald. Big deal, or something like that. We don't really want that. That's not what we're looking for in this, is just rehashing the same plot points. No one needs that.
Where it's a bad guy has a bunch of followers, and then it kind of splits, and then there's like a wizarding war, which is, what we've seen a lot. Or I guess more so with Grindelwald, there was like the big battle with Dumbledore. Not to say that this could be like a complete nightmare for the game, but you're right. It's not something that I think we want to see. I'd like to see something, and maybe this is too crazy, or maybe it's something that we said don't copy mechanics of other games. But even to see something kind of like with the like Shadow of War with like a nemesis system, or like you're seeing like a bunch of different people throughout that you're fighting, and it builds up to like an organization or something. So like not leading up to one sole villain, and maybe there's a leader of that organization. I don't know. But like you said, I agree. To have a Dark Lord again, it just is it getting cliche at
It's
this
forced.
point? Yeah,
it really is forced. Because then it becomes a one-trick pony. That's all this franchise has to offer is chosen one-ish character, whether that's Newt or whether it's the actual boy who lived, Harry or whoever steps into that role, and it's like, but they matter and they could stop it, and you just keep doing that, then it's just telling the same story over and over.
Yeah. And you want variety with this, and it looks like they're going to go that route. I mean, hopefully they're going to go that route, because it would be, I think it would be a little bit too much to do in the game again. So
yeah. So, hey, we are both very excited for this game. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. What are you not wanting to see in this game? Or, if you want to see the other video we did 5 things that we do want to see in the game. As fans, let us know what you think about that as well. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you liked it. Dislike if you dislike it, as always, please, because even the dislikes get me in recommended, and I need that. Please help me out here. Help a boy. Now, I appreciate all of you. Check out the Degenerate Plays Let's Play channel in the link down below, please. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a fantastic day. And as always, stay shway, stay happy, and hey, stay JK.